Today I'm talking about attention, and I've been thinking about attention for a long while now, and to me it's a really interesting thing. We have a lot of resources available, a lot of things that we need to balance, like our time, our energy, money, motivation, food, and things like that. But I think in some way it all boils down to attention. Attention is something you just, it's like you have a pool of attention available, um, and you can channel your attention. So I think everything, all resources that exist kind of spring out of attention. And I think it's desirable to get to a point where ideally 100% of your attention is spent in such a way that is in alignment with yourself. And I think it's not easy to reach that point. Maybe it's not possible, I'm not sure. But you can definitely strive towards that goal and start to be aware of where is your attention going. So right now you're watching this video, there's the first thing we can see. The first thing coming to mind right now about attention is your attention can be split in a given moment. You can spread your attention on many things at the same time, and a part of it happens consciously, and a part of it happens subconsciously. So, for example, when you just received some bad news, but then you're in a meeting, and it's a very important business meeting. Maybe you can relate to this experience where a part of your consciousness, a part of your attention is still with this bad news. So your attention is kind of split. A part of your attention is on the business meeting because it's very important, and a part of it is on this bad news you received. So you will not be fully present at this moment. So that's a proof that your attention can be split amongst many things. Maybe even more subconsciously, your body is telling you you're hungry right now. So I don't know if there's an upper limit to the number of things your attention can be split across, but it can be a lot of different things. And I notice for myself when I'm sitting in a restaurant and maybe I'm talking with some friends and I'm looking at the phone at the same time, my attention is split between what I'm reading, what I'm hearing, and maybe what I'm reading is causing some emotions to come up or is sparking some thoughts. And these processes happen at the same time. At the same time, I'm listening to what's being said to me, and maybe I'm even replying. So the first point about attention I want to make is it's beneficial to be aware of where your attention is going in every single moment. And then also, you can think of attention like a water that's going through a water hose. And if you spread your attention to many things, the pressure will be lower. So water of a water hose is spreading. And if you narrow it down, if you narrow your attention down, so if you focus your attention on less things, the pressure increases and you can concentrate better. So what I'm doing with the phone, for example, is when I see there's an important message or something I want to reply to, I tell my friends, sorry, I want to reply to this. Then I quickly reply, and then I'm back fully in the conversation. I don't always manage to do it, but that's what I'm striving for. There are also some times when I just put my phone away completely and I don't even touch it. So I'm more present in the conversation. So this is one point about be aware how you spread your attention, and you be aware that you're able to narrow your attention or even spread, because sometimes it's important to spread your attention too. Sometimes we have to juggle different things at the same time, or across the same duration we need to juggle different things. So be more aware about how you do that and where you spread your attention towards. And this phenomenon about attention to me is really interesting, that like anything you can say, like money, food, even sleep, creativity, anything starts with your attention. If you wanna see some project in this world, maybe it's a book, for example, you wanna write a book, it will not exist unless you put your attention to it. And that's, I don't know, that's to me is so fascinating. Just with your attention you can create things, or at least it's the first step towards creating something. For most things there's a physical aspect involved as well. Like for food, you need to realize, for example, you're hungry, and then you need to actually go to the kitchen or even to the supermarket, grab some food, go to the kitchen, prepare it. But even in any moment you need to be aware, like you need to put attention to how are you moving your hands to cut the food or whatever. So because attention is involved with everything we do, with everything we want to achieve, it's a really high leverage element of your life, that when you get a bit better at managing your attention, every aspect of your life improves by a bit. But because it's every aspect of your life improves by a lot. I think I mentioned this in a previous video about emotions, that emotions are a part of most aspects of our lives too, and if we manage to handle our emotions with more serenity, also our life will improve a lot. So attention is another thing where it is like this. And I've read somewhere recently about this question, that you can also refer to regularly in your daily life. And it goes, do I give an appropriate amount of attention to the activity I'm currently doing? So phrased differently, is the amount of attention I'm giving to this activity in alignment with myself? And basically you can ask yourself this question once a minute, once an hour, whatever. Whenever you do something and you remember this question, you can ask yourself, it's like a check, it's a sanity check. Am I giving this thing the amount of attention that I want to give it? For example, what I know for myself is when I'm with the phone and after a few minutes of scrolling, I realize, oh, I'm scrolling, and now I don't really want to spend more time with my phone, but I'm still doing it. So if I train myself to ask myself this question, I catch myself, and then I can say, no, I'm giving more attention to this thing than I intended. So I will put away my phone. And if you do this over time, you identify aspects of your life where there is an imbalance, right? For example, with the phone, it's like a small example because the activity in itself is nothing big, but there are bigger examples. For example, maybe you're not satisfied with the number of hours or with the energy you're putting into your work. So if you identify this, then you can take a step back and ask yourself the question, why am I putting so much attention towards my work, and what are ways I can either reduce the number of attention, the amount of attention I'm putting into my work, or for example the time I'm putting in or something. And it might not be a one-step fix, it might be a bigger question in your life, like how do you want to design your life in such a way that maybe in the future you can spend less energy per week into your full-time job. So getting in the habit of asking yourself this question is a really good indication, and also a check for your accountability and your self-responsibility. Am I really giving, so is this what I'm giving my attention to right now really something I'm interested in? And of course there's also the other way, where the other side of the coin, where there are things that you would like to give more attention towards but you're not giving, and these are a bit more difficult to detect, right? Because you're not doing them right now. So if you always ask this question, you will not find those aspects. So there it could be a good practice to regularly take a step back, maybe when you're drinking a coffee and you're taking some notes, you can think about, what is something I would like to experience but I haven't experienced it in the last day, week, month, year. For me, immediately there comes traveling, for example. So this is the other side of the imbalance, where the other side of the coin, where the imbalance is you're giving something less attention than you would like to give it. So I would be really curious to hear, what are some things you detected that you are giving more attention to than you intend, or what are some things that you give less attention to than you intend? What are some things you want to give more attention towards? And yeah, hopefully you can integrate this question into your daily routine, into your regular life, and I would be delighted to hear more from you. See you next time.